Have you ever woken up, looked in the mirror, and thought, when did I start feeling this old? Maybe it's the stiffness in your joints that wasn't there before. Or the way you need that second cup of coffee just to feel human. Or maybe it's the quiet, creeping feeling that something's off, like you've been dragging yourself through life in low-power mode, hoping you'll bounce back. But the bounce takes longer now. And the truth is, once we hit our 30s, that bounce needs more than just rest. It needs a reset, not a crash diet, not a one-week juice cleanse, but a real, grounded physical and mental detox that clears out the junk, both in your body and in your mind. This isn't about looking 25 again. It's about feeling light, strong, calm, and clear, living long and living well, deep into your 70s and beyond. Because here's the thing, the quality of your later years is built right now, not someday, not when things slow down. Now. So if you've been feeling like your energy's been leaking out somewhere, if your stress lingers longer than it used to, if you feel like you're always chasing rest but never fully catch it, this is for you. Because you don't need to settle for slow decline. You can build a second wave of health that carries you through life's next chapters with power, with presence, and with peace. Let's start that journey together right now. It begins with a simple idea. Before you can thrive, you have to clear the stuff that's been weighing you down. Let's talk about your mornings. Not the ideal version where you drink green juice and meditate for 30 minutes. I mean your real mornings. The ones where you hit snooze 3 times, check your phone, scroll through bad news, and suddenly it's 9 a.m. and you're already tense. Sound familiar? The first detox doesn't start with what you eat. It starts with how you wake up. Every morning is a mental reset button, but most of us are unknowingly filling our heads with chaos before we even step out of bed. The endless notifications, the emails, the news, it's like eating mental junk food on an empty stomach. And just like your body can't run well on junk, your brain can't either. So try this. For the first 20 minutes of your day, avoid screens. Just 20 minutes. Instead, drink a glass of water. Step outside for 2 minutes. Look at the sky. Breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your nervous system remember what calm feels like. It sounds small, but if you do this every day, you'll start noticing something powerful. You're less reactive, less jittery, more centered. That's detox at work. And it's free. Now that your mornings are calmer, let's look at what's going on under the surface, inside your body. Your gut is the command center of your health. And after 30, most people don't even realize how sluggish it's become. Constipation, bloating, feeling full but still tired. These aren't random. They're signs your system is clogged, literally and figuratively. You see, years of stress, processed foods, late-night snacks, alcohol, and antibiotic use slowly chip away at your gut health. And your gut doesn't just handle digestion. It affects your mood, your sleep, your immune system. If it's struggling, everything else struggles too. So let's clean it up. No fancy cleanse needed. Just real food. Add 1 fermented food to your day. Yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, miso, whatever fits your culture and taste. And while you're at it, cut out that harmless diet soda or energy drink. Yes, even the sugar-free ones. They're stealthy gut wreckers. Instead, drink water. Plain water. Warm if you like. Add lemon if you must. But commit to at least 2 liters a day. You're not flushing toxins with expensive teas. You're doing it with what your body is literally made of. Hydration is the simplest, most overlooked detox tool you have. And here's something people don't talk about enough. Your body heals when you stop constantly eating. Try spacing out your meals. Give your gut 4 or 5 hours between meals to rest and reset. If you snack all day, your digestion never gets a break. You don't need to fast aggressively, but a little breathing room between meals gives your body a chance to focus on repair, not just digestion. But detox isn't just about food or water or routines. It's also about what you consume emotionally. Have you ever noticed how certain people or situations leave you feeling heavy? It's like a residue. Emotional toxins are real, and they pile up. That unresolved tension with a coworker. The news story you read that haunted you all day. The constant self-criticism whispering in your mind. These things don't show up on blood tests, but they live in your nervous system. You detox emotionally by creating boundaries, not just with people, but with input. Start by curating what you let in. Clean up your social media feed. Mute or unfollow anything that triggers stress, comparison, or outrage. Replace it with accounts that calm, uplift, or educate. It's a small move with massive mental impact. You are what you scroll. And don't underestimate the power of silence. Just 5 minutes a day, no music, no podcasts, no talking. Just sit. Breathe. Let the noise settle. At first it feels weird. Then it starts to feel like medicine. Because it is. And while we're on the topic of emotional clutter, let's talk about that to-do list that never ends. After 30, a strange thing happens. You become excellent at doing everything for everyone, except yourself. You wake up to emails, care for kids, answer texts, help coworkers, check on your parents, manage the house, and by the end of the day, your tank is empty. Not because you didn't try, but because you didn't protect your energy. So here's a challenge. For 10 minutes every day, put yourself first. 10 sacred minutes. No multitasking. No guilt. Just something for you. A walk. A stretch. A song. A journal entry. 10 minutes where you remind yourself, I matter too. It's not selfish. It's maintenance. You wouldn't let your car run for 10 years without an oil change. Why treat your body or your mind that way? See, detox isn't just about removal, it's about renewal. When you let go of the noise, the clutter, the overwhelm, what you're left with is clarity, focus, vitality. You start to feel lighter, not just in your body, but in your spirit. And when that shift happens, it spills into everything. You sleep better. You digest better. You respond more than react. You laugh more easily. You breathe more deeply. You come home to yourself. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional, making small, steady choices that nudge your body and mind back into balance. And as you keep choosing them, day after day, you begin to age differently. You don't just extend your life, you expand the quality of it. It all starts with awareness, with noticing, with asking yourself, not what's wrong with me, but what do I need more of? More rest? More joy? More stillness? More truth? The answers are usually already inside you. You just have to quiet the noise long enough to hear them. And if you're still with me, then you've already taken the first, most important step. You're paying attention. That's how change begins. Sometimes, when you start clearing out the things that weigh you down, the first thing you notice isn't freedom, it's resistance. Your mind clings to old habits like a child holding onto a worn-out toy. Even when that toy is broken, even when it no longer brings joy, it feels familiar, safe. And that's the thing about detox. Whether it's physical or mental, it often begins with discomfort before it brings clarity. But here's the truth. The moment you begin letting go, your body remembers what it's like to feel good. Not just okay, not just functioning, but truly, vibrantly well. And one of the biggest areas where we hold on to toxicity, without even realizing it, is our sleep. Not just the number of hours, but the quality, the rhythm, the way we wind down, and the way we wake up. Sleep isn't just rest. It's repair. It's detox in motion. During deep sleep, your brain flushes out waste, your cells regenerate, your nervous system recalibrates. Yet most of us treat sleep like an afterthought. You can't heal fully if you're exhausted halfway through the night. So let's clean it up. Start with light. Yes, light. Your brain's entire sleep rhythm depends on it. Every morning, get sunlight in your eyes. Not through a window. Real light. 10 minutes if you can. It tells your body, hey, it's morning. Time to reset the clock. And at night, cut the bright screens. Try using a warm lamp or candlelight after 9 p.m. That simple shift can change the way you sleep more than any supplement. But beyond light, ask yourself this. How do I talk to myself before bed? Is it a mental to-do list? A replay of arguments? A scroll through social media that leaves you anxious or numb? Try replacing that with something grounding. A 30-second stretch. A few pages of a book. A slow breath. This isn't about perfection, it's about pattern. The more you build a calm bridge to sleep, the deeper your body can heal overnight. And while we're on the subject of rest, let's talk about the kind you're not getting. Because physical rest is just one part. What most people over 30 are starving for is mental rest. And no, watching Netflix with your phone in your hand doesn't count. Mental rest happens when you stop inputting and start processing. Journaling is one of the oldest, cheapest, and most powerful tools for this. Not because it's poetic, but because it clears the clutter. Try this tonight. Open a blank page and write down whatever's looping in your mind. No grammar rules. No filter. Just empty the thoughts out of your head and onto paper. You'll be amazed how much lighter your mind feels, how much more space you create inside yourself. Because here's the reality. We carry so much that's unspoken, unfelt, unprocessed, and we wonder why we feel heavy, irritable, anxious. That emotional load doesn't disappear on its own. It has to be released. Another place we hold this tension, our movement, or more often, our lack of it. Let me ask you something simple. When's the last time you moved your body with joy, not obligation? We've been sold this idea that exercise has to be intense, punishing, scheduled, done in a gym with gear and apps and timers. And while those things can help, what really detoxes the body isn't fancy workouts. It's consistent, intentional movement. Every single day. You don't need a Peloton or a marathon. You need to move in ways that feel alive. Walks in nature, dancing in your kitchen, stretching while your coffee brews, squatting to pick things up, swinging your arms like a kid, moving lymph, pumping blood, releasing tension. Let your body become a river again, not a stagnant pond. Because when your body moves, your energy moves. Your brain wakes up, your organs get massaged, your emotions find a way out. And don't forget this, your posture matters. Most of us, after 30, slowly start collapsing inward. Shoulders rounded, chest tight, spine hunched. That posture doesn't just affect how you look, it changes how you feel. It sends signals to your brain that you're tired, small, powerless. Straighten up, and your biology shifts with it. Here's a practice that takes 1 minute. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, and take 5 deep breaths into your belly. Inhale slowly, exhale even slower. Do it now if you can. Feel the shift? That's your nervous system calming down. That's your body remembering how to be present. And when it comes to detox, presence is everything. We're so often stuck in autopilot, doing, that we forget to be. But real healing happens in the being, not the doing. It happens when you pause, when you notice the sunlight on your skin, the taste of your food, the sound of your breath. Which brings us to something you might not have expected in a detox video, gratitude. Stay with me here, because this isn't about being fake positive or ignoring real problems. This is about rewiring your brain to stop scanning for danger all the time. After 30, stress starts to become chronic. Not because life is harder, but because we've trained ourselves to focus on everything going wrong. Gratitude is the detox for that. Before you sleep, try listing 3 simple things you're grateful for. Not giant wins, but ordinary moments. My tea was hot this morning. My friend texted me. I took a deep breath and it felt good. That's enough. Do it every day, and your brain starts looking for more things to appreciate. It's not magic, it's neuroscience. Gratitude shifts your default setting from threat to safety. And when your nervous system feels safe, your body finally stops clenching. It can digest, repair, sleep, heal. That's what detox really is. Giving your body permission to do what it already knows how to do, once the interference is removed. And there's one more thing you might need to release. Maybe the most important of all. The story. You know the one. The inner script that says, I've let myself go. Or it's too late to change. Or this is just how aging goes. That story. It's optional. You are not your past choices. You are not your weight. You are not your habits from 5 years ago. You are a living, adapting, evolving human being. And the moment you stop clinging to that old narrative is the moment you create space for a new one. You're not broken. You're just ready. Ready to stop numbing. Ready to stop postponing. Ready to feel clear and alive and strong again. Not someday, but now. So breathe deep. Sit tall. Drink your water. Step into the sunlight. Move with intention. Rest with permission. Let go of what doesn't serve you. And watch what begins to rise in its place. You don't need to do it all perfectly. You just need to keep showing up for yourself. Because you're worth the effort. Once you've made space, once the noise dies down a little and the heaviness begins to lift, something remarkable happens. You start to hear yourself again. Not the rushed version of you. Not the one always behind on sleep, chasing deadlines, distracted by alerts and aches and other people's needs. No, I'm talking about the you beneath all that. The one who knows what it feels like to feel truly well. That voice is quiet at first, but if you keep listening, it gets louder. And it starts saying things like, I want more out of life. I want strength again. I want to wake up energized, not foggy. And maybe the most important one of all, I want to feel like myself again. This is where rebuilding begins. And it's not about chasing perfection. It's about choosing habits that feel good in your body, that nourish your mind, and that actually fit into your life. Let's start with something deceptively simple: hydration. You've heard it 1,000 times, right? Drink more water. But most of us still aren't getting enough. And the consequences sneak up slowly: brain fog, sluggish digestion, fatigue, dry skin, joint stiffness. Things we just start to accept as aging. But they're not aging, they're dehydration. Your body is mostly water. Your brain? 75% water. Your blood, your joints, your organs, all of them depend on consistent hydration to function. So this isn't just about feeling less thirsty. This is about giving your body the environment it needs to thrive. Try this today. First thing in the morning, before coffee, drink a tall glass of water with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. That tiny shift wakes up your cells, jumpstarts your digestion, and replenishes your electrolytes after a night of drying out. Then set a reminder midday, just one, to pause and sip. You don't need to guzzle gallons. You just need to be steady. When you hydrate, you're not just supporting your body. You're telling yourself, I care. I'm paying attention. That builds trust. And speaking of trust, your body's ability to handle stress is built on one essential system most of us never think about: your gut. That's right. The trillions of microbes in your gut don't just digest food. They impact your immune system, your mood, your energy, even your memory. If your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, it's like trying to run a marathon with bricks in your shoes. You can't think clearly. You don't sleep well. Your body feels off. So, if you want long-term detox, not just a weekend juice cleanse, but real, sustainable clearing, it has to include your gut. Start by cutting back on the big culprits: ultra-processed foods, artificial sweeteners, heavy alcohol, and seed oils. You don't need to eliminate them overnight. Just begin swapping them out. Cook more meals at home. Add fermented foods, like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, or plain yogurt. Eat more fiber-rich vegetables. Drink bone broth. Chew your food slowly. Your gut doesn't need perfect, it just needs consistency. And as your gut calms down, your whole system does too. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something often overlooked in detox conversations: connection. No, not social media. Real connection. The kind where you sit across from someone and talk. Not about the weather, not about work, but about what matters. What scares you? What you're hoping for? What makes you laugh? Because loneliness, especially after 30, is a silent toxin. And it's one that too many people carry quietly. You get busy. People move away. Old friendships fade. And before you know it, you're going through life alone, even if you're surrounded by others. But connection is healing. Deeply healing. Studies show it lowers inflammation, boosts immune function, improves sleep, and even increases lifespan. That's not fluff. That's biology. So here's a challenge. Reach out. Text someone just to say you're thinking of them. Invite someone for a walk. Open up in a conversation instead of staying surface level. You don't need 100 friends. You need 2 or 3 you can be real with. That's enough. And if you don't have those people right now, it's not too late to build them. Join a local class. Volunteer. Show up somewhere consistently. People bond over shared effort. Detox isn't just about removing what hurts. It's about adding what heals. And human connection is one of the most powerful healers we've got. But let's get honest about something else too: your digital life. You might not want to hear this, but your phone? It's likely draining you more than you realize. And no, I'm not saying to throw it in the ocean or become a monk. But think about it. Every time you open an app, scroll for just a minute, check notifications, you're training your brain to be distracted, to expect stimulation, to avoid stillness. Stillness is where healing happens. So create boundaries. Try putting your phone in another room during meals. Set a daily screen-free hour. Move social apps off your home screen. You're not trying to go off-grid. You're just reclaiming your focus. Your attention is sacred, and your mental clarity depends on how you spend it. And when you start clearing that digital clutter, you'll notice something. You suddenly have time again. Time to read, to think, to move, to be present. Now here's one final piece. It might be the hardest and most beautiful part of this journey: self-forgiveness. We all carry regret. Habits we wish we'd broken earlier. Bodies we wish we'd treated better. Opportunities we missed. But you cannot rebuild a strong future while clinging to shame about the past. Healing happens when you release yourself from punishment and choose compassion instead. You're here now. You're listening. You're trying. That matters more than anything behind you. So say this with me, quietly, if it helps. I forgive myself for the ways I abandoned my health. I'm choosing again now. That's powerful. That's real. And that's how change begins to root itself. Not with pressure, but with patience. So here's what you've done so far. You've cleared space, quieted the noise, tuned into your body, created rhythms of nourishment and rest, invited connection, reclaimed your focus, and practiced self-compassion. That's not a detox. That's a transformation. And the beautiful thing is, this isn't the end. It's just the beginning of something stronger, clearer, deeper than you've felt in years. Not a younger version of you. A wiser, freer one. One who listens to their body and responds with care. One who honors their energy like it's currency. One who knows their future is worth fighting for, not through force, but through steady, loving attention. Because your 70s aren't just something to survive, there's something to thrive in. And you are building that foundation right now. Here's to rebuilding. Not to be someone else, but to finally become more of who you really are. When you reach a place where your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and your spirit more grounded, you might wonder, how do I stay here? That's the golden question. Because the truth is, health isn't a destination. It's a rhythm. It's a practice. It's not about never slipping. It's about always returning. And that return starts with motion. Now, I'm not talking about training for a triathlon unless that lights you up. I'm talking about weaving movement into your life in a way that energizes you instead of draining you. Think about it. How often do we move because we want to, not because we feel like we should? Somewhere along the way, movement became punishment. A way to fix our bodies instead of connect with them. But here's the truth. Your body wants to move. It's built for it. Not just for cardio or calories, but for circulation, digestion, mobility, brain function. Movement keeps you alive in more ways than one. And after 30, especially after 40 or 50, it becomes less about intensity and more about consistency. So instead of obsessing over steps or reps, ask yourself this. How do I feel when I move this way? If you feel good after a brisk walk, make that your anchor. If you feel strong doing yoga or Tai Chi, follow that. If dancing in your kitchen feels joyful, that counts too. The key is to build a habit that doesn't rely on motivation. Because motivation is like weather, it changes. But identity, that sticks. So stop saying, I'm trying to exercise more, and start saying, I'm someone who moves every day. Even if it's just for 10 minutes. That small shift changes everything. And as your body moves more, your brain wakes up, your balance improves, your metabolism stabilizes, and your emotional resilience, it grows. Let's talk about that for a second, emotional strength. Because the older we get, the more losses we face. Loss of people, of roles, of former versions of ourselves. And that grief, if it sits unspoken, becomes weight we carry every day. It shows up as fatigue, as irritability, as numbness. But when you give your emotions room to breathe, to rise, move, and be released, you don't just feel lighter. You become stronger. You don't need to fix every feeling. You just need to feel it. So create rituals for emotional release. Journal in the morning. Take walks without your phone. Sit with a cup of tea and ask yourself how you're really doing. Not fine. Not busy. Real. And if something hurts, say so. Out loud. Name it. Let it exist. Because emotion is energy in motion. When you bottle it up, it turns toxic. When you move through it, it heals. And as you strengthen your emotional muscles, you also deepen your capacity to rest. Yes, rest. Real rest. Not just sleep, but spaciousness. Pause. Silence. We live in a world that idolizes hustle and treats rest like laziness. But if you want to live well into your 70s, 80s, even 90s, it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, and then stopping. So here's your permission slip. It's okay to do less. To slow down. To take naps. To say no. Your worth is not measured by productivity. You are not a machine. You are a human being. And your body heals when you rest. If you've been sleeping poorly, take it seriously. Build a nighttime routine. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Do some light stretching. Write down what's on your mind so you're not spinning in circles at 2 a.m. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's daily detox, your brain's reset button. And on the other end of the day, how you start your morning matters too. That first hour after waking, it sets your tone. If you start with emails and doom scrolling, your nervous system goes into defense mode. But if you start slow, stretch, hydrate, breathe, maybe step outside, you teach your body, we're safe, we're steady, we're strong. That changes everything. And here's something beautiful to remember. You don't have to do this alone. Find your people. Whether it's one friend, a partner, a group online or in person, build a circle where health is the norm, where you're celebrated, not shamed, where progress is progress, no matter how small. Support systems aren't optional, they're survival tools. And while you're building strength, don't forget to celebrate it. Track your wins. Journal about what's getting better. Notice when you recover faster, sleep deeper, feel calmer. Because success isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moment where you realize your back doesn't ache like it used to, where you laughed more this week, or you remembered something without struggling. That's growth. That's healing. And it's worth noticing. So as you stand here now, more aware, more intentional, more empowered, take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. This is your new baseline. You've cleared what no longer serves you. You've rebuilt with care. And now, you're in motion, not racing, but flowing. You're aging not with fear, but with grace, with power. Let's stop thinking of aging as decline. Let's see it for what it truly is, refinement. You are not falling apart. You are becoming more you. And the longer you walk this path, the clearer your energy becomes. The more joyful your relationships feel. The more aligned your life becomes with what matters most. You're no longer living by default. You're living by design. So keep moving. Keep choosing. Keep listening to that quiet, wise part of you that says, let's keep going. We're just getting started. Here's to walking into your 70s with clarity, vitality, and courage. And here's to you, for showing up, for doing the work, and for believing you're worth it. Because you are. Now I'd love to hear from you. What part of this journey resonated with you the most? Was there a shift you're ready to make, or one you've already started? Drop it in the comments. I read every one. If this video helped you, give it a like, and make sure to subscribe for more content to support your mind, body, and spirit as you age with intention. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and remember, this is your life, and you get to shape it.